Hello, everyone. I deny tier slop way too much. I don't use this channel at all. Literally in the description of this channel it says daily uploads. That's the biggest lie I've ever told. I do not touch this channel. But a while ago I actually did try to upload, and I was stopped. You may be wondering, stopped by what? Um, the very unfortunate reality of copyright. I tried doing a tier list video with my good friend Toxical, but I had to show him a bunch of clips for him to understand what I was talking about, and that video got sent to hell because of copyright. So I thought I would do the same tier list video by myself so I wouldn't have to bother him with all the clips for him to understand what I'm talking about. I can just understand what I'm talking about by myself, and then I will go from there. So the tier list video that I wanted to release today, well, wanted to release a while ago but couldn't, is a tier list of the characters that will be in my game, Nothing Universal. Now, obviously the game's not out yet, and it's barely got any coding behind it in reality. But I have a lot of plans for it, and I'm writing down a lot of move sets currently. I want to get the 15 characters in the base roster and their move sets written down so I know what I'm going to be coding before I actually start doing it. But I've got a bunch of random characters from my update map, just some characters that I thought would be cool, and I've put them in tier maker, and I'll do a way too early tier list to get people excited for what they're about to see. Obviously, majority of these characters will not be in the game on release, but they will be. Like, this should be the roster within a year or two or three after the release of the game, hopefully. Um, there's you may notice there's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh characters. That might not be the reality. Like, some of these Yu-Gi-Oh characters might be cut. I wanted to do 4 from each season, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So if people want me to, I'll cut some of these out the roster. But while I was thinking about 4 characters from each season of Yu-Gi-Oh, I had some pretty fun ideas, and I'll touch up on them when we get to those characters. But I'll move them at the bottom for now. First up on the list, we got Ghost Rider. If you know me, Ghost Rider is my favorite Marvel character. He's in a different game, and I think the design they went for him in that game is not the direction I would go for it. He's probably going to be really strong on release. Um, I do believe I cut him in the base roster over Bill Cipher. I kind of forgot why I did that. I'll have to look at my DMs because I know I told someone why I did that. Someone told me to cut Ghost Rider, and I forget why I wanted to cut a high tier, but um, he will be in the game soon after release. He'll be one of the first characters I work on after the first update, which will be Invincible focused. Ghost Rider is my favorite Marvel character, and I do want to give him a full transformation. I'm going to have to catch up on his power scaling, obviously, but I'm very excited for him. Next up, we got Omni-Man, another very strong character in his own series and how I plan him. I'm trying to think, do I want to put him in A tier or S tier? Thing is, his ultimate will have a map refresh, and I'm trying to think, is that S tier worthy? We'll put him in A for now. Actually, I think we'll go the Battle Dome method of putting one character in each tier before we actually start going down the list. So just to grab an F tier, I think I'm going to grab the GOAT Daredevil. I do love Daredevil, but I think it would be really funny if I made him this very high skill character where it's like a lot of effort for not a lot of payoff. So he's not very strong. That way, literally every fight is like that one image of Daredevil squaring up with Thanos. Just because I think it'd be funny. But I will make him like playable. It's just going to be difficult. You're going to have to be good at the game to master Daredevil. For a B tier, give me the GOAT, Captain America. I kind of just want to make Cap play like he does in Rivals, but I'm going to give him a little more damage behind him. That's really my only concept for him. I think he'll be fine like that. I'm very excited to make him, though. Captain America is another one of my favorite Marvel characters. For a C tier, for a D tier, give me the Wall. I just think the Wall is funny. It's a funny character. I suggested him in another game. He didn't make the cut, so I'll do it myself. For a C tier, I thought about making Locke Lambert C tier, where like he was fair and balanced and nobody would complain about him. But it's my game, and he's my GOAT, and I'm tired of all the slander of him, so I am going to make him strong. So let me look over the roster a little more. You know what? I know. Give me GD Cube. Listen, I love GD Cube. I do plan to make him strong, but he's going to have a catch. I was talking to someone, and they were like, you should give GD Cube 1 HP. And I'm thinking, like, how do I balance 1 HP? So, I do already have his moveset planned, and he will have a semi-consistent one-shot combo. It'll be circumstantial, but he will have a one-shot combo. So he loses to every character with a big AoE attack. Like Omni-Man Garuru Cannon, he's never winning that fight. But if you can take advantage of all the different movement styles from his different game modes, you can get a lot of value out of his abilities. So he's kind of going to be like a stronger Daredevil, or like very high skill is what I plan for him. I plan to make all of the low tiers higher skill on average. Like, this isn't going to be the rule, but on average, I want to make low tiers high skill, mid tiers average, and then high tiers low skill, just like super ridiculous. I don't think I've mentioned this in the video, but the concept behind the game is power scaling accurate. It really bothers me that a lot of video games don't take into account power scaling. So like in the Mortal Kombat series, you'll see Omni-Man fight against a street tier and a god tier character and fight this, like, go relative with both, and it really bothers me. So for my game, it'll be split into 4 different game modes. Low tier, where you can only pick the human level characters, and you have to like make the most out of your abilities. Mid tier is going to be like your country to continental characters, like pretty strong, but nothing insane, right? And then for the high tier, like complex, multi, hyperversal, outerversal level characters, where it's just fuckery all around. And I might make more tiers, like smaller tiers for characters, because like some of those characters don't fit into some characters don't fit into those 3 categories. Like, I'm missing a pretty big gap between like, country level and multiversal, right? Like I'm missing all my planetary characters and like my galaxy level characters. So I might make more exceptions, and the power scaling might be a little loose, but that's like the general idea. And there will be an equal stats game mode for people who aren't losers like me, who care about power scaling. But this tier list is based on the equal stats part of things, where like put every character in a room, they all do the same, they all have the same HP stat, all of their damage is scaled. Um, who's coming out, right? And this is what that tier list is based on. Kaiju number 8. This one's tough, really. I don't know where to put Kaiju number 8 because like I need to catch up on his series too. But like from what I've read in the manga and from what I enjoyed in the anime is really good. Although the art style is not as good. Um, I'll probably make him pretty strong. I want his ultimate to reference that like large enraged state that he went into in the anime, but I'll have to catch up on the manga to see if that form is like ever relevant again. But Kaiju number 8 is pretty strong in general. He's fast. He's got regeneration. Like there's a lot of things I can do with him. So I'm excited to see how I'll go about that. On release, Hulk will be the strongest character in the game. Um, Hulk is one of the strongest characters in Marvel, and it really bothers me that in Marvel Rivals he has pillow punches. He does barely any damage. So I will rectify that issue. Um, I will eventually nerf him somehow. I'll figure out a way. But on release, I do want a lore accurate Hulk to really feel the weight behind him. Battle Beast is another pretty strong character. I wouldn't say he's as versatile as Kaiju number 8, so I'll keep him below for now. But I like Battle Beast is my favorite Invincible character, so I'm gonna have to make sure to do him justice. And hold on. All right. Next up, we've got the Benjamins. So I have an idea for Benjamin. He's going to be 4 different characters on the roster, each representing a different point in time in the Ben 10 series. And there will be the releases will be spaced out. I think the one I'll actually like release to start is Alien Force because he has the best all-round roster and he has Alien X. So I think that's what I'll do for Ben, because I do want to give him all of his aliens, all with unique movesets and unique ultimates. But that's obviously going to take a long time, and it would be better if I split him up into more characters. And then maybe once all 4 are out, way down the line, I'll compile and make a completed Omniverse Ben with every character, with every alien. If that works. I don't even know if that'll work. But, Alien Force Ben will probably be the strongest. Because, like, canonically, Omniverse Ben is the strongest, but I want to restrict them to the aliens released in their series. And among them, obviously, Alien X was introduced in Alien Force, but he didn't actually have control of Alien X and Alien Force. So there's 2 ways I might go about this. One, to use Ben's ultimate in Alien Force, you have to convince Serena and Bellicus to let you use Alien X, or go a different way with Alien Force Ben's ultimate, and then give Omniverse Ben Alien Force with full control, like he does show in that series. I'm not sure which way I'll go with it yet, but either way, I don't think it's a stretch to say 2 of the Bens will be S tier. Obviously, Omniverse Ben, even outside of Alien X, he's got insane heavy hitters. He's got Atomics, Gravitac, Vampire, all very strong in his own roster. And he's got some worthless chuds, like Walkatrout. But still very strong. Alien original series will probably be the weakest, because canonically he's the weakest. His strongest alien is Waybig. And Waybig's no slouch, but the only scene original series Ben has with Waybig is throwing Vilgax into space like a baseball. We don't actually know if he has the planetary ray like he does in Alien Force and Omniverse. Ultimate Alien Ben, I plan to make strong but unreliable. What I mean by that is every time you transform, there's a chance you get the wrong alien. It's like a small chance that it turns you into a random alien. And for his ultimate, obviously I have to give him the ultimate aliens. So he will be strong, but he might not be as consistent as Alien Force Ben and Omniverse Ben. Next up, we got Alan. Alan, I plan to give a passive to where if you let him regen after low HP, he comes back stronger. So he'll be strong, but he probably I definitely won't make him as strong as Battle Beast. Although Thrag, I plan to make relative to Battle Beast. I want to make them almost equal. So you can go either way with that one. And then Mark Grayson, uh, a friend of mine really hates Mark. I really hate Mark. On release, he'll probably be a joke character. Although I might buff him eventually. Like I might not make him forever condemned to be bad. Next up, we got Chaos. I'm very excited to make Chaos. Put him right there. Is that too low? I'll have to learn more about Chaos because I don't remember a lot about him besides him making Dark Skylanders in what is it? I don't remember. But I'm very excited to make Chaos. I think he's going to be very fun, and I'll probably make him pretty good, but I don't know like how strong. He definitely won't be S tier, I don't think. However, on release, I plan to make Locke the best mid tier and the fourth strongest character in um, equal stats. And you may be wondering why. Well, Locke Lambert uh, is a character that literally nobody but me cares about, and for a while I was like totally fine with that. I didn't really care, but I kept making jokes about him in a different community, and those jokes went too far, admittedly, and now everyone in that community hates Locke Lambert. Well, I guess they don't hate him, but he's been thrown around a little too much, and now I've got to recover his status. I feel like people don't respect my goat. People don't respect me. So I will be making my goat the goat, making the strongest mid tier. And in when I made my original suggestion for Locke Lambert, I specifically made him to where he wasn't a summoner. Even though in his own series he does summon Titans to fight alongside him, he never like he could always fight by himself, even without his Titans. Every character in Hunted could fight, and I knew in that community, um, everyone hated Ultron, who was like the only character who could summon someone specifically. So when I made my suggestion, I made sure to make Locke not a summoner, be able to fight by himself, so that way people won't get mad about another summoner like Ultron because everyone hated Ultron. But in my game, I can make him function differently, and I'm very excited to make a lore accurate Locke Lambert. If you, I don't know if I've shown anyone besides like my close friends my design for Locke Lambert, but it's written down in the notes, and he's going to be very strong. Let's see who else we got. Ooh, Max Steel. Um, am I gonna make Max Steel? I think he'll go right there. He's gonna be able to swap between forms, so obviously he will have a lot of utility. But I plan to make it based around season one max, who actually doesn't have a lot of crazy showings. So he'll be pretty grounded, and I'm very excited. So the the way I've designed him is that his ultimate lasts a very long time. So you can go two ways with it. Either you can go the passive route where you focus on stealth and clone and try to whittle down your opponent or catch them by surprise, or you could go the other route, which is you go cannon, use up your ult bar in exchange for a fuck ton of damage, and I so it'll depend on your play style, but I'm very excited to see Max Steel's ultimate in action. Next up, we got Helltaker. I am so happy with the Helltaker moveset I made. If you haven't played Helltaker, um, it's a very fun game where the concept is that this guy, we don't know his name, but he goes to hell on purpose with the intention of just meeting a lot of demon women and adding them to a harem. And by the end of the game, he just lives with a bunch of hot demon women. And the game is really fun, the game's really funny, and at the very end of the game, the Judgment boss fight, where you have to fight Judgment, and the way you fight her is that you have to dodge the chains that she summons and break her chains intermediately. And I remember in 2023, I struggled with that boss fight so much. And I just now recently beat it the other day. So in Ultimate, I gave Helltaker a move where he forces you into the Judgment boss fight. So you, yes, you have to go through the same pain that I did of memorizing where those chains pop up. I'm very excited for Helltaker. Next up, we got Adam Eve. The reason I wanted to add Adam Eve to the roster is that she's very fun in Marvelous. Um, so, I'll probably. She's not as impressive as Alan, Battle Beast, or Thrag, so she'll probably be more balanced or not as strong. Excuse me, but I'll certainly still make her playable. Ooh, Conquest. One of the scariest fuckers in Invincible. Y'all seen that new image of him snacking on the locals? Yeah, he's up there, man. He's up there. Same with Nolan. Nolan and Conquest are pretty relative, in my opinion. I know the creator said that Nolan would beat Conquest, but I think their strength is pretty relative. Next up, we got Ryuga. So I wanted to add Ryuga in the base roster, but my bum of a friend refuses to watch Metal with me, even though he said he'd watch Metal with me. We got like 16 episodes in of Metal Fusion, and then he stopped watching it as frequently. So once that bum locks in and we start finishing Metal, I'll add Ryuga to the game. But I will make Ryuga strong for the wait, because I said he would be in the base roster, and I don't think I'll be able to add him to the base roster because my friend is a bum. Next up, we got Iono. Iono? I don't know how to say her name. She's hot, though. Should I say that? I'm not going to say that. But Iono will be another high skill, low tier, but I do plan to make her very strong. She is in my top 4 hottest women in fiction. Speaking of hot women in fiction, we got Zalia Moon. I love Zalia. Another summoner like Locke, although she won't be as strong as Locke. Probably right there. Put Dante right there. And then Sophie right here, I guess. Yeah, that looks good. Watch Hunter. Next up, Winnie the Pooh from Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. You may be wondering, what the fuck did I just say? I said Winnie the Pooh from Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. If you've never watched Blood and Honey, it's a horror movie about Winnie the Pooh because he came into the public domain. So now you can do anything with the IP. And Blood and Honey is a bad movie. The second one's better, but the first one is bad. So, this will be, the kit will be centered around the second one, and I actually do already have it. I messaged someone who is better at balancing than me, and asked him about the kit, and we talked about it, and he helped me balance it a little. So the idea behind Winnie is that he can set traps like some honey on the ground, and if you get caught in it, it'll slow you down, and then he's very strong up close. So he's like this sneaky trapper that'll try to brutalize you if you get too close. He'll have a grab where he throws you, so he could throw you into the trap for more follow-up. But he's still going to be a low tier, and I feel like in big equal stats lobbies, it'll be pretty easy to overwhelm him. But in like low tier specifically, he'll have more HP than average. He'll be this bulky, strong, slow trapper kind of character. I'm very excited to see the lineups people get with Winnie the Pooh throws. Next up, we have Goku Black, my favorite Dragon Ball villain. I do plan to make him pretty strong. He obviously has a lot of abilities to work with, and I want to do some things with Goku Black, but he'll be in a later Dragon Ball update with more characters. Speaking of more Dragon Ball characters, we got Ultra Ego Vegeta. So if you don't know, if you're not in my Discord server, I plan to make Goku an admin-only character. You may be wondering why. That's fucking stupid. Well, I I think it's really funny, the bit of Goku is Goku Versal and is the strongest character in fiction. You know, if you're on TikTok, you've seen all the Madoka slander recently. So I thought it'd be funny if Goku was like a character you'd only see if one of my admins were in the lobby or if I'm in the lobby and I'm just trolling somebody. But I don't want to deny the people of Goku entirely. So I thought during Vegeta's ultimate, he would call Goku, and then during the ultimate, you can swap between playing Vegeta and Goku on the fly. Vegeta will be this bulky, the lower your HP, the more damage you do with these very powerful attacks. And Goku will have a passive to where while he's blocking, he dodges attacks. So any move that doesn't guard break is effectively useless against Goku. So you have to time your moves well to make sure he's not blocking, or go for guard breaks because he can still have his guard broken during his dodges. So if you break his block, you can stun him and then punish him. But he'll be very fun to play. And I don't want to entirely deny the people of Goku, so I will make Vegeta's ultimate a swap, and I think that's really fun. Next up, we got the Sonic characters, so let me order these real quick. Where is Shadow? Here he is. Okay. Sonic. Oh, I have ideas for Sonic. I'll put him right here. So in base, I want to make Sonic this very fast, get in, get out, poke character for his first 3 moves. But his 4th move, it'll swap you into the Werehog form. I don't even remember what game the Werehog form was introduced, but I remember watching it as a kid and thinking it was really cool. But the Werehog form, you lose the speed, and it's this close range brawl character. So if you're if you're fighting on a really big open map, you can get a lot of value out of base Sonic. But if you're on this tight enclosed map, you can get a lot of value out of Werehog Sonic. So I think he's going to be really fun to play, and obviously it's Sonic. Like, I'm not going to make him bad, right? Like, I don't even like Sonic that much, but it's Sonic. Same with Shadow. Like, you can't make Shadow bad, but he won't have the value that you'll get out of Werehog Sonic. I think right there is fine. Knuckles, he'll be like Werehog, but not have the value of speed. And then Tails, I mean, I only added Tails to the roster, so my Halloween picks would make sense. So, for a Halloween update, I plan to make it horror Sonic themed because there's a lot of cool Sonic horror for some reason. Another game that is I take inspiration from added 2011X. I only know Sonic EXE. Who the fuck is 2011X? Apparently he's from some Roblox game, Night something Memories, Outcome Memories, I think. I don't fucking know. I don't keep up with that game. I'm just gonna reread the original Sonic .exe horror. What's it called? It's not copy pasta. That's like Vaporeon. What's I don't know. Horror copy pasta. I don't fucking remember what it's called. But I'm gonna reread that, and then I'll base Sonic.exe in my game off that, and he'll be pretty strong. And then Fleetway Sonic, he'll also be very strong. Although I don't know if is Fleetway Sonic stronger than mainline Sonic. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to rewatch videos about Fleetway as well. And then next up is Tails Doll. I'm gonna have to explain this one. So years ago, like I think 6 years ago, I watched a video on the Tails Doll horror like copy pasta. And I thought that was it. I thought Tails Doll was like a horror only character. Turns out he's a real Sonic character. He's from, I think it's called Sonic X. It's a racing game, very old. And Tails Doll was a playable character in that racing game. And the lore behind him was he was a robot designed by Robotnik based on Tails. Basically, the Tails Metal Sonic. Metal Tails. But obviously, he's very different than Metal Sonic. He can teleport. He's got this red gem. In my eyes, he's just a horror character. This is a real Sonic character since fucking when? Apparently, since before the copy pasta. I did not know that. When I decided to add Tails Doll, I did not know that he was a real Sonic character. Maybe I'm just a bum. I didn't know that. So, like, I want to make Tails Doll really strong, but I literally did not know he was a real Sonic character. And I feel like I have to balance his base kit around the real character and then go, like, full horror with the ultimate. I don't know. I'm going to have to do more research on Tails Doll. Oh, my God. Bill Cipher. Okay. Bill Cipher was the worst character so far when it comes to trying to balance them. I watched the Bill Cipher versus Discord death battle on YouTube, and that's where I took a lot of inspiration from. I also took some inspiration from the wiki. Dude, Bill Cipher has so many hacks and abilities. This character does so many things, and it's really hard to balance a character that has done so much and can do so much. So I decided, like, for his ultimate, he's gonna have like this rage move where he like basically throws a tantrum and destroys everything around him. In that big red form, you see him chasing Dipper and Maybelline. And then you can build up his rage meter, which unlocks his excuse me, his second ultimate with all the bullshit hacks. Just every bullshit ability that he has. But a lot of the other high tiers will be able to get around it. So he'll have like a time stop, and then like Hulk will just be able to punch through the time stop, and like Alien X will be able to just resume time, things like that. So he will have a lot of bullshit hacks, but there will be a lot of ways to get around it. So I don't even know, man. I feel like he's still going to be S tier, but it's really hard to balance somebody who can do all of that. I will make sure he gets one shot by the Penance Stare, though. Razumov. I forgot to do him when I did the Hunted characters earlier. Ooh, I fucking hate Razumov. I want to make him bad. But he is one of the strongest Hunted characters. I'd say he's probably stronger than... I'll have to rewatch Season 2 before I know if he's stronger than Dante. Ooh, my favorite. Hold on. First of all, I should have added Goku on this tier list so we'd have more than one character in admin tier. I'm gonna add myself as an admin character. Who's gonna stop me? Next up we got Nightmare Freddy. This was requested by a friend. All of the FNAF characters were requested by a friend. Nightmare should be somewhere on this tier list, but I don't fucking see him. That's a shame. But I'll probably make Nightmare pretty balanced. Same with Mimic. I need more balanced characters anyway. But I mean, B is balanced, but like, there's gonna be like, this is all first draft things. Like, obviously characters can be nerfed and buffed and things like that. Merlin. Do I want to put Merlin below Ayano? I think right there is fine. Merlin has a lot of interesting magic within Seven Deadly Sins, so I'm gonna have to research all of the things she's done and try to make a moveset around it. But I'm very excited to make Merlin. She seems like a very interesting character. Hold on, have we done Meliodas? Where's he at? Okay. I'll probably also add Gother, but I just forgot to add him to this tier list. Well, no, I thought about adding Gother, and then I thought, does he even do enough? I don't remember. But I'll have to do some research on Gother, and then I'll eventually add him. But Bon. I do like Bon. Okay, hold on. I think I want to rework some of these. Cap can go down. Helltaker can go down. Merlin can go down. Ayano can go down. Ryuga can move up. Hold on, I have an idea. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with this. King has some of my favorite abilities from Seven Deadly Sins. I remember when I watched all of Seven Deadly Sins, most of my favorite scenes came from King. He's got some of the best abilities in the series, and he's very interesting. Diane is obviously giant, so this gives me an excuse to talk about the models in this game. Certain character will be like standard Roblox models. Things like Ben and Locke will be normal models. But for Bigger characters, think way big. Maybe Hulk, we'll have to see. Uh, Omnimon will probably be large. Not like insanely big, but like bigger than the average Roblox character. I will be giving detailed 3D models for, um, and Diane's going to be one of them. So Diane is going to be one of those bigger characters. So she'll have the like problem of having a big hitbox, but she'll obviously have very large AoE attacks, and she'll be pretty strong. Gwen. I think Gwen's gonna barely scrape into almost S. I think like her Anodite form is going to be very strong. She's one of the strongest characters in Ben 10. She clears 90% of Ben's aliens. Like she loses to Waybig, and then she could probably beat Waybig at her full power. No, she could beat Waybig actually. And then like she loses to Alien X. But like she clears most of his roster. She's very strong in the verse. Dagon recognizes her as very strong. Like she has a lot of power behind her, and I do want to reflect that in her kit. Kevin's going to be interesting. So if you've watched Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, Kevin is the ultimate jobber. This guy loses to everybody. So I want to make his base kit like very weak almost, and then make his ultimate also kind of mid. But if he's fighting a Ben, or there's a Ben on his team, he can touch their Omnitrix and turn it into one of his mutated forms, and that will be like his big power. I almost wish I had two images of Kevin, so I could put like a mutated Kevin in one of the higher tiers, because he will be strong with that. But assuming it's against like some random other character, Kevin probably loses. Might move him as D, honestly, but I'll keep him in C for now. 2099. I love 2099 in Marvelous. I hate him in everything Universal, so I want to do him justice. But I will not be adding Spider-Man. Fuck Spider-Man. I think bottom of B is fine. I think he's going to be stronger than the C's, but I think he'll be stronger than the C's, but weaker than everyone else in B. Bomb. I'm going to have to read all of Tower of God to figure out how strong this character is. But from the little I know, I'm going to put him right there for now. I think he's going to be very strong. And he's one of my favorite characters in anime, period. I love Bomb. And by the way, when Bomb is added to the roster, either in the base roster, if I can catch up on Tower of God fast enough, or in a later update, whenever he comes, I will make Rachel from Tower of God the testing range dummy. So when you're like learning a character or learning combos or practicing combos, you will be attacking Rachel. Because I hate her. Next up, we got two Scythe users. I did not mean that. That just happened like that. Maka and Soul and Shira Ori. Let's do Maka first. My favorite protagonist in anime, my favorite anime in general. I'm definitely not going to make him weak. Right there is fine. If you didn't know, if you use chain scaling from Fire Force, you can get Maka and Soul to multiversal. So by using that stupid chain scaling that is not reflected in their own series, I will be putting them in high tier, and I will be making them very strong. Next up, we got Shira Ori. She has a lot of abilities. If you haven't seen So I'm a Spider, So What, very good anime. You should check it out. But Shira Ori evolves into a god who can influence the system. So she will have some very interesting abilities. She's got evil eyes. so she can cycle through different eyes and use different effects based on them. She's going to be a menace. Not stronger than Ryuga, though. Probably right there. I think her and Bomb will be pretty relative. However strong I make Bomb, I'll try to make Shiraori relative to. Mainly because I want to make them both mid-tiers. And I love both of their series. Eli Shane. So I love Eli. Let me get that out of the way. I love Eli. But I want to make him somewhat skill expressive and somewhat not. So I'm going to let him cycle through different slugs. You're going to have a wheel similar. So if I haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm going to have a wheel for Ben where he can choose which alien off of a wheel. Similar to Galvin, if you've seen that game, where you can choose an alien from a wheel. And I plan to use the same wheel for Locke and all of the hunted characters summoning Titans, and the same wheel setup for Eli, where he can choose which slug he's about to select for his fourth move, and then his third move will just be a hip fire where he fires a random slug and hopes. And then for his ultimate, he'll have a fusion attack, which will be very strong. Probably one of the highest DPS moves in low tier. But you're going to have to keep track of your slugs, see what's on cooldown, what's not, and think about like what slug best suits the scenario you're in. Although a lot of them have overlapping abilities, like if two slugs do the same thing, I'll probably just choose one of them to add to the wheel so it's not confusing. Next up, we got all the Yu-Gi-Oh characters. I'll speedrun these. But first, let me do the very unnecessary task of sorting them. Where's Jesse? No, where's Jaden? There's Jaden. Where's Chaz Princeton? There's the GOAT, Chaz Princeton. Do I not have Jack Atlas? There he is. I was like, where's Jack Atlas, the GOAT? Zexal's next. Bang. Okay. Yugi, he's the king of games. Come on now. Probably... Okay, hold on. I have Omniverse and Alien Force Ben too low. I don't know why I had them at the bottom. Probably right there. And then Omniverse Ben, depending on how I make him, could be stronger or weaker than Alien Force Ben. Then Yugi will probably be... right there. I'm fine with that. Joey's one of the strongest characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! But he's kind of dumb. And I want to get a little silly with his moveset. Have some fun with him. He'll probably be more of a joke character. Kaiba, though. Kaiba's the GOAT. Mako Tsunami. Okay, I haven't said it yet in this video. But I want to give certain characters that are similar, that have abilities similar to a domain expansion, the ability to domain clash with characters from JJK when I add JJK characters. So Mako Tsunami will have the field spell Umi for his ultimate, and he'll be able to domain clash Umi with something like Infinite Void, Malevolent Shrine, or Bill Cipher's Weird Mageddon. Things like that. I think there's a Crystal Beast field spell, so Jesse will also have a domain-like, is what I'm calling them for now. So I want to make Mako's base kit this really grounded, balanced kit where it's like he's basically just a guy who likes fishing. And then his ultimate is this a complete 180. He covers the map in water. He can summon monsters that lurk in the water. He forces you on little pieces of land. Basically to force you into that game state that Giant Soldier of Stone was in the anime. I don't have that image on me, but you get the idea. You can look it up if you want to. Mako Tsunami's duel is very interesting. Jaden, MC of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, I couldn't even think about it for a minute. Is a very fun deck. He's a very cool character. Probably... Yeah, I'm fine with that. Zane, my favorite masochist. Jesse. I love the Crystal Beast. And I want to give a team up function where if Jaden and Jesse are on the same team, they can fuse Rainbow Dragon and Elemental Hero Neos for Rainbow Neos if they're both using their ultimates at the same time. So I want to make them pretty relative. Chaz Princeton's going to be a joke character. I mean, he's Chaz Princeton. He's already a joke character. Yeah. It's Yusei Fudo. Come on. It's my favorite anime, okay? Let me be. Kite Tenjo. My favorite deck from Zexal. We'll put him... I think we'll move the GX cast down, actually. Yeah. That looks better. Yuma, my good friend of mine, my favorite person to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With, their favorite deck is Utopia, and their favorite anime is Zexal. Shark, Reginald Castle. Do you know this guy's name is fucking Reginald? Oh, his deck's cool though. I'm not putting Reginald above Ben, I'm sorry. Reginald, his deck's cool. Reginald, I'm sorry. Next up, we got Altoy. I don't even know if that's how you say his name. You may be wondering, who the fuck is that? He's the guy who plays Battle in Boxers. He summons number 54 Lionheart. And Lionheart's effect is that any damage that you would take from a battle with him is reflected onto the enemy. So for his ultimate, I'm going to let him summon Lionheart. It's going to sit on the field. It's going to be this really big hitbox. And if you hit Lionheart, you take the damage. So he'll be piss annoying. Probably weaker than Shark, though. Okay, now we got the Vrains characters. Firewall Dragon is one of the strongest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. They had to get an errata. They had to make Yusaku stop playing Firewall Dragon after Firewall Dragon got banned in real life. So, I mean, I gotta give respect to the GOAT, right? Probably, no, actually, right here, yeah. One of my favorite decks in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but he's definitely not going to be strong. Blue Angel loses all of her fights. She is like one of the best decks in the series, and she keeps losing. So, I feel really bad for Blue Angel. And then they've got this guy on fucking Dragon Link, bruh. How does he lose anything? He's playing Dragon Link. Genuinely crazy, bro. Alright. I think this looks good. I think I'm okay with this. Let me know if you if you want me to buff certain characters, nerf certain characters. This is just like my first idea rough draft. You know what I mean? Um, I think out of the 15 characters that will be in the base roster, I've made movesets for 10 of them. So 10 out of 15. Once I get 15 out of 15, I will start coding, and I'll post progress about that on my main channel at Board Lobotomite. The first character I'm going to get done is Locke. Once Locke is finished, I'll release a video showing off Locke combos, and that'll be really fun. I think that'll be my next piece of content on NU. My game, nothing universal. Unless something else comes up. But here is the tier list. I'm very excited to come back to this video in like 3 years and see if this is accurate to the meta then, or if I'm fucking retarded.